Well, hello everybody, and welcome to a live stream. The second official Waggery video of the live things that I do, whatever they are. And I have a guest. This means I'm hosting, which means I have to do stuff like ask questions and things. Some of you may know of him. If you don't, can I introduce Jack? And Jack has a great channel. The link is in the description to this video. So pop on over, give his channel a good look. It's very enjoyable. I should recommend severe subscribing. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, hello, Jack.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
Oh, no problem. Oh, Lee's in the chat already. Well, let's just get these up first. No worries, Colin. Thanks for popping in for as long as you can. He's always got his own stream to be on. I do apologise, sir. And, oi, it's problem being all right, Lee. How you doing, mate? You all right? Right then. So, let's get it off with the, shall we open the discussion on Russell T. Davies's wonderful ability to put his foot in it and ruin it for everybody else?
Yeah, that sounds like a good way to start the evening.
Yes, it's the best way to start the evening. Obviously, everybody who's watched my videos knows exactly how I feel about what Russell has been doing and saying. So, be interesting to hear what Jack has to say. So, just let us know, Jack, what you think of the situation, and we'll go from there.
I think it's a very silly thing to do, especially when you're the showrunner of a program that's not in a very good state at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think it's very disrespectful. Now, I sent you, obviously, I let you know last night that I did some research into the fella he was talking about.
Yep, yeah, absolutely.
And he has made some posts which I, as someone who used to be very kind of religious at a certain point in my life, and I got over it of my own choice, and I decided to just be me. And he has posted a lot of things that I personally would have been very annoyed about if someone's saying,
Yeah, I agree.
But I think where the problem comes in is this lad is 20, so he's younger than me. And Russell T is he in his early 60s?
Something like that. I think he's a little bit older than me. So that's old. He's old, to be fair.
But I think the fact that, a grown-up man, shall we say, as Russell T. Davies, has acted like a bit of a child here,
Yeah,
and I think that's embarrassing for him. That's embarrassing for the show. And that's just heartbreaking if you're someone like me who grew up with his first era and looked up to him. I couldn't wait to meet him one day. I was going to do him some drawing. I was going to have a nice chat with him and try and pitch a Torchwood video game idea I had.
Nice. Why not? Why not? When you got the chance, go for it, because you never know. You never know.
And I'm not going to lie. I think my heart has just been broken over the past couple of months, from that god-awful interviews that he did at the start, from the way he's been behaving on Twitter and or Instagram, sorry, calling people names and everything. And I just starting to see a side to him that I hoped I wouldn't see. He always came across as a bit of a humble man to me, especially when compared to the sometimes egotistical Moffat and the absolute idiot Chris Chibnall.
Fair comment.
He seemed very, just humble, down to earth, understanding of, as Rabbi says, understanding of the human condition.
Yep, absolutely.
And now I'm seeing just a completely another side to him. And it's like what they say, isn't it? Never meet your heroes.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. And, although to be fair, I did meet William Shatner, and he was all right.
Well, I met David Tennant at last Comic-Con, and he was great. In fact, he's got the drawing that you can see as this avatar.
Yes, brilliant. So, yeah, I know a lot of people speak well of David Tennant. He's a genuinely nice human being, but
and I don't care what his politics is.
No, exactly.
I don't care as long as he's a nice person. And Catherine Tate is a goddess. She's lovely. She doesn't have any ego about her at all. It felt like I was talking at a colleague at the workplace. As soon as I showed her my drawing, she was approachable. She was, because I get starstruck a lot of times when I meet people.
Well, don't we all? Don't we all?
She was so lovely. She said, "Here, do you want a free autograph?"
See,
you
she
know,
didn't have to do
and
that. She didn't have to do
no,
that, did she? Really?
no, because that's
That's
less money
nice.
for her.
Exactly. Exactly.
And so
Exactly.
yeah, she's an amazing woman, and if you haven't met her, you won't be disappointed.
If
So
I get the chance, if I get the
yeah,
chance. But with my kids and that, there's no chance really. To be fair, um, my life is Wednesday. I'm going to the National Bus Museum. There you go. There's excitement for you.
I mean,
I'm,
there's a
yeah,
couple of buses are nice, like the
yeah.
older
Well,
ones.
I know, but a bus museum, yeah, really. But the kids want to go. So if the kids want to go, the kids want to go. You know what I mean? It's but yeah. No, I have heard that. Um, um, is it, McGann is also very nice. A lot of them are very amiable people.
I met him as well on that day, Paul McGann,
Yeah,
and
Paul
he is
McGann,
a
he's
very lovely man. I probably, do you know, sometimes when you're that starstruck, you say something you wish you hadn't said.
all the time.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna put it out. So I said, "Are you a Time Lord?" And he said yes. I was like, "Because you look like you're no older than 30."
Oh, jeez.
He
Okay,
just
fair enough.
didn't know where to put it. He's like, "I've
Oh,
never been told that before."
well, there you go. But you know, he's probably thought, well, you know, that's. But the thing is, when you bump into famous people, your mouth just runs out of way of your brain, and you say stuff that you would normally never say to anyone normally. Because it's just you know you're meeting your hero, aren't you? That's what it is, and your brain
Yeah,
doesn't work. It really
and
doesn't.
he's such an amazing guy, and that's why I want him to have his own series so badly because he's not out of it at all. He's youthful, especially for his age.
Exactly, exactly. It's a shame. He's one of the people who should have had more chance of being the Doctor. To be fair, because
Yeah,
I think he would have been great, but these things pass by, don't they? Unfortunately, and it's always the what could have been, and what is, and what ifs. It's just, but it's a shame. But no, Russell. He's too. I mean, people are saying, "Oh, he's doing it because it's about the BBC and Channel." It's all he's concerned of, as I said in my video, is the fact that he's just worried about his next paycheck, pure and simple. That's why
yeah.
he's jumping up and down. But he has to think very carefully about what he says, because whether it reflects on the show or not, in his mind, it will. And as you just said, it's broke your heart the
Well,
way he's been.
the thing is, the funny and ironic thing is, if you make a good show, the money will come.
Exactly.
So I don't
Exactly.
understand why you're panicking about money. I mean, it's I just find it very, the rich need to get richer, and it's like, why?
Except, well, yeah, and that's happening all over the place at the moment. To be fair, the rich are getting richer. I don't understand his need to do that.
Well, I
I
love
mean,
what he says. Lee's just mentioned here. It's like, he says, so only people who have lots of money are Tory voters. It's like, Russell, you're in a room with chandeliers,
exactly.
you know,
Yeah,
and I, I just find it just so. This isn't the same man who I knew. Well, I didn't say knew, but I loved watching Doctor Who Confidentials and seeing him talk about how passionate he was and everything. And
yeah.
this isn't the same man. And I'm just like, what's happened between 2010 and now? You know,
I think it's a reflection on how sadly society itself has gone, and he now feels more emboldened to say these things without thinking, but he also does it at award shows where he knows he's in a room full of people who are just going to blow smoke up his backside and pat him on the back for saying what he says. And it's like it's like everything else, like Hollywood and that, they all live in this big bubble where they're
yeah.
just so out of touch with reality. And they seem to think because they live in this big bubble that what they say only if it doesn't affect anyone, and they
Well,
don't think
here's the thing: if it wasn't recorded, it wouldn't affect us.
exactly.
But it's on camera, so like, compose yourself, man. If you want to do it in your own little parties and all that, that's fine. That's your business. That's your life. You
Yep,
can hang around with as many knobheads as you want. But
exactly.
when you have it recorded for the world to see, for your audience to see, you know, I think I just can't help but feel like he really doesn't care about the audience.
No, I mean,
You know,
just look. I mean, he when he went to do when he had his last outburst, he went to accept an award for "It's a Sin," which is an absolutely fantastic TV show. But then he destroyed the acceptance of that speech and that show by just going off on this tangent of a rant for no need.
was
You
that
know,
the
he
whole, removing the T is to kill thing?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, you're like, what are you doing? Why are you doing these things? You shouldn't just accept. As you said, I mean, we all go back to the old Ricky Gervais thing, which is literally come up and get your award and go. You're in no position to,
yeah,
preach
I
to
love it.
anyone, and it's true. I mean, that's why he'll never. That's why he'll never do the Emmys and the Grammys or whatever it is again, because he's just honest. Um,
Mhm.
and I don't know whether they forget the cameras are there or what. And then the problem is, as I said in the last video I did, this is now emboldening people to now, instead of it being about a female doctor, it's whether people who have a right wing, whatever that is, viewpoint should even be allowed to watch the show. And you're like, hold on a minute, what are you doing? It's just a show, and and they've got to be emboldened by this rhetoric that every time he gets up, he has to say something that's that's the word I'm trying to argumentative, that's going to cause it, and then he does it on social media. He's supposed to be better than that,
Yeah.
and yet no one's pulling him up for it. None of the production crews or anything like that, and I don't understand why. Surely they can see that there's a kickback against all this, and yet they seem to be
So,
just
so
letting it
you,
go.
so you're saying that someone who loves Doctor Who, someone who is a talented writer, is very passionate, wants nothing but to make brilliant Doctor Who, he's going to show you his CV, and the moment you see conservative on it, or straight in the bin.
Well, that's what they're saying. I mean, that's what people. That's what a lot of people have. Well, not a lot of people. That usual tiny little vocal minority that ruins it for everybody. You, how do you even know if it's a Republican or a Tory or whatever else is watching the show? I just, it's a dangerous place, and that's what when I said that on the video, walking down this path of making everything about politics is a very dangerous path to walk down, and it will reflect badly on the show. And I just don't
It's
understand his
and it's
logic.
depressing as well because, Gobby, when I was a kid, I vowed I'd never get into politics because it just sounded like a load of annoying people,
It
you
is,
know, gibbering on about meaningless stuff. But then, of course, Jodie Whittaker was cast, and I scoured the internet looking for anyone that, thought that this wasn't such a good idea, because I
yeah,
was thinking
yeah,
that, and I didn't want to say anything because then you get branded, you know what.
oh
I
yeah,
found
yeah,
Bolsprek, I thought, wow, now here's a guy who knows what he's talking about,
yeah,
you know, and with no disrespect to him at all or any of the fandom menace, although there are a few I hate, but in
yeah,
most recent years, I've come to realize that they can be just as radical as the other ones,
yes,
like saying either you think everything is crap or you're fake and everything. And I've kind of just find myself in this, I'm not going to go left, I'm not going to go right. I'm going to sit in the middle and watch both sides throw rocks at each other.
yeah. Well, as I
That's
said,
that's where I'm at. And I don't but what I do respect Gary for saying especially is no, I don't want a conservative Doctor Who. I just want Doctor Who.
exactly,
And I'm like,
exactly.
thank you.
Yeah, because
Why
that's all
can't
we
he be
need.
like that all the time?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, the fandom menace. I watch a lot of them. Yeah, but it's like everything else. Sitting in the middle doesn't seem to be allowed anymore for some
No.
unknown reason. Um, and there are times where I'll be agreeing with them, and then there'll be times that I vehemently disagree with them. But that's what you can do when you sit in the middle. You can listen to both sides of the argument, which doesn't seem to be allowed anymore. And I don't
Yeah.
understand why. And all you do,
I just
go
want to
on.
be me.
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
want to be me. I don't want to join any kind of party. I just want all of this social justice stuff to stop because I can see the hatred in it.
Yeah.
And I can see, I happen to like British culture mostly because I was raised by my grandparents, and I watch like Norman Wisdom, the
Oh
Carry-Ons,
yeah.
and stuff like that.
Brilliant films.
I miss that very kind of the way the posh people used to talk, not the snobby ones. It was just like it had a certain. It all seems to be being replaced with this modern day hip hop kind of culture, which I
Agreed.
hate. I can't
Yeah.
stand hip hop music,
Absolutely. Oh
you
yeah,
know.
I'm there. I can't
And
stand
I
it.
worry that will the opening sequence for Shooty be like, ooh wee,
Oh, you know
like
what? I know he. Yeah, that's. I think a lot of people fear that as well. It's going to be sort
when
of
he
some.
opens the TARDIS, will lots of smoke be pouring out the doors?
Yeah, and he'll come out wearing a big chat. I mean, apparently, so it's been rumored that part of his costume is going to be wellies, and I'm like,
Um, okay.
yeah, yeah. What? Why?
So every
What?
time he's trying to sneak around somewhere, all you can hear is ooh, 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 ooh. And it's
or
like, yeah,
or we're just going to land on every single planet that we arrive on. It's going to be wet and
and
it's going to be
muddy. Yeah.
rain. Yeah.
Yo, you should have dressed for the occasion.
Yeah, I mean, you're like, it's like he said. I'm really excited about my costume. I've had an input, and then you look what he wears normally, and you think,
Oh
oh,
god.
sugar.
Mate, you do know kids are watching this. They don't want to see your
You don't want to
moves.
see yeah, I don't want to see your chest, and I'm also trying to figure out how that's going to match with a pair of wellies. It just doesn't
Oh,
make
don't.
any
I'm
sense.
cringing so hard. I think Hartnell would turn around and just raise an eyebrow and be like, definitely not.
No, yes, no, yeah. I mean, what's the inside the TARDIS going to look like? I mean,
Well, like I said, it's going to be covered in bling.
bling, yeah.
It's going to have rap music blasting full thing, and it's going to have all these like 7 pairs of Nikes across the door, and
Oh,
all sorts.
the very first time we're going to get introduced to the new TARDIS, it'll be done on MTV Cribs, won't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Welcome to my TARDIS. And it's like,
And
oh,
then the Daleks will track him down, and he'll be like, "How did you find me? We watch MTV."
why would you? It's the thing is, well, we can sort of laugh and joke about it, but the thing is, these are genuine concerns because of the way things are going. It could be anything, and it just, oh, it it does mean. I mean, Russell T Davies, as I've said on my videos before, people are thinking they're going to get RTD from 2005, and we're clearly not.
No.
We're going to get this very angry, politicized man. And as I always say, I hope I'm wrong, and I hope it turns out to be really, really good. But the thing is, when someone's like that, that is going to filter into the show, no matter what you try and do.
Now, there's
Uh,
something, Gobby. What Problem Being has said, because he's right. He's like, isn't it funny how those that claim not to be racists are the ones that make the most blatant stereotypes?
yes,
And
absolutely
when
true.
Shooty says he's going to be fabulous, I believe him.
Yeah,
He's going to start
yeah,
bringing that into the Doctor's character, that's just not who the Doctor is.
no,
That's not even
absolutely
who
not.
Captain Jack is, and
No.
he was
Well, I
very
mean,
masculine.
well, you bring up Captain Jack. I mean, we all know he was a gay character, but it was never portrayed like that,
No,
and that fitted perfectly. The
he
thing
was
is,
an
a lot of
awesome character, and
exactly,
I love
exactly,
his Series 1 costume, the 80s leather trousers,
yeah,
the really tight leather trousers and all that.
yeah.
It's got a certain, I really love it. I wish he'd wear that again.
Let's just hope. I mean, the thing is he going to be allowed to come back, which will be
Oh
another
yeah.
question because of cancel culture and all this sort of stuff. But I just,
Well, here's the thing, then people could turn around and say, "Hey Russell, you instigated that." Like,
yep,
because you knew it was going on, you did nothing.
exactly, exactly. The thing is, it's like cancel culture is very much pick and choose, isn't it? To be fair,
Yeah.
um, uh, and you live in a world where I mean, even when we're doing this here, um, Captain Jack was pansexual; he would shag anything. Fair enough. The thing is, that wasn't Captain Jack's overriding personality, was it? He was this wonderful, wonderful person.
Well,
And
unless you watch Torchwood and then he becomes a murdering psycho.
Well, yeah, there is that, I suppose. Yeah,
I didn't like that. I thought they ruined his character in Torchwood.
It went too dark, didn't it?
Too dark, yeah.
Way too dark. But I think
On
sometimes
Doctor Who, he was great.
Oh, on Doctor Who, he was absolutely fantastic. But I think Torchwood went very dark very quickly. Whether that was the whole idea,
I never liked the whole like darkness thing. Like when you die, just like it's like, how can you get so blatant?
Oh yeah.
They might as well put a sign on the door saying no spiritualities allowed.
No, that's good. But we wouldn't be able to do that nowadays, though.
And even Moffat did it. You know, he came out with the whole Cyberman thing. I remember he got quite a bit of backlash for that.
Yeah, he did. He did indeed.
It's like, you know, I know it's a sci-fi show, but I also think you do need to be respectful that there are a wide variety of people watching.
Yeah, absolutely. You sometimes have to take a step back and think, do we really want to put this on? Because I mean, that's another rumor that's apparently coming out that Moffat's going to be writing some of the episodes.
Oh, I thought you said he wasn't coming back.
Ah, well, apparently, I think it was somewhere. I read it today. They're actually saying that he's looks like he's going to write some episodes now. Apparently, so clearly, not coming back was more to do with wages, I guess. But again, it's a rumor, so we take it with a huge pinch of salt. You know, it's very much akin to the Disney Plus rumor, which I know we were talking before we started, where it was.
You still there, Gobby?
People are getting all excited or annoyed in the yeah.
Yeah, you're breaking up a bit. Sorry.
Hold on, it's all right. My mic was playing up. Sorry, it just turned itself off for literally no reason. So I have the same problem I had with my webcam. It just didn't like me. No, but as I said, it was, you know, the talk of Disney Plus trying to, or looking at getting the rights to streaming it. It's terrible, because even though it's not confirmed, just look at the backlash on social media against it, because of the attachment of Disney Plus to the name. You know, it's just I don't know, things every week something comes out that makes you think, oh
well, God. I'm upset that Disney own Alien, so
I know that's not good.
I'm just at this point I just want them to announce that the TV industry is done. There's no more coming out.
It's finished.
You'll just have to buy DVDs.
It's just well, as you said, we're both convinced that somewhere along the line we suddenly went to bed and woke up in an alternate reality at the moment, because just nothing makes sense at all. I mean, at least put it, if Disney get involved with Doctor Who, I'm 100% done with it. You know, and basically the rumor is that it's just for the streaming rights, but I don't understand why Disney would want to do that.
Yeah, because they definitely won't lock it into their platforms only.
Well, exactly. It's just like, I know Disney Plus is struggling. I know.
Good.
They deserve everything they get. Disney do, to be fair. But it's just like, I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. I really don't.
Well, it's not to say everything that comes from them is bad. There's a great film, Luca. If you haven't seen that, I'd suggest you watch it. It's really good.
I will. Well, I shall give it a look.
There's a bit of a controversy. Everyone came out and said that the two main characters were gay because two boys can't be friends without.
Oh well, yeah. Oh God's sake, really?
And the director came out and said, "Shut up, you bunch of weirdos."
Well, yeah. It's just so. The logic of people at the moment there is no logic. How can you say that? Because boys,
they're about 11 or 12.
Oh, for God's sake, really?
Yeah.
Does he? Why does that? Why does everything have to be taken down to that level nowadays?
Well, I guess on the internet's just inhabited by weirdos.
It's inhabited by a tiny amount of weirdos who just like to cause trouble. I mean, I don't get it. Boys can be friends, girls can be friends. So does that work the other way as well? Then does it? Just out of curiosity.
Most probably, but I don't even want to go there.
No, it's just I'm stunned by people's
And this is nothing
attitude.
new. It's like that when you realise that Romeo and Juliet were only 13.
Exactly. But we'll just skip over that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because we don't want to mention that because.
No.
But then again, nowadays that would be perfectly acceptable. I guess.
Don't.
Well, I know it's not. There are times where I sit and I read and I see things and I think, really, is this where we've got to?
This is what's annoying me. Here I am trying to block this all out and get my own bubble and just, be happy for a bloody
Yeah,
change.
why
And
not?
then out comes some more news that something that RTD said, now they're going to be rationed electricity. Like what,
Well,
I hate the
it's
world we're living in at the moment.
it's just. I mean, it's like they one of my friends in America they were getting moaned at for using their air conditioning because of the heat and the strain on the electric grid, but then said that we should all be buying electric cars.
Yeah,
So,
you do know where electric comes from and how it's made. It doesn't just
well,
happen.
well, apparently it does. Apparently to some people. I mean, I don't know whether you ever saw the. There was Chevrolet had announced their new electric car, and they obviously with big fanfare, and they asked how it's charged, and the actual representative said he was asked where does the electric come from, and they went the building, and that was their answer. So these are the people who are in charge. I just can't do it. I just can't do it anymore.
Um, I just, I don't want to grow up, but I find myself having no choice because I'm just surrounded by these people.
It's fine. I mean, I've got quite a few people know. I've got two. I've got a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old, and I really fear for their future, and it's not nice because I brought them here into this world, and this world's not a good place. Yeah, it's I don't know. And then, as you said, and then all we want is to have the escapism of watching our favourite show, once a week, and they're going to affect that as well. And it's like, I just want to be entertained. I need to sit and watch the telly so I can be entertained. I don't want you to remind me at the moment how crap the world is. I just want you to give me, and that's why films, I mean, it's like, that's why Top Gun Maverick has done so well, because it doesn't do anything. It just entertains. And that's why it's successful. And to go into the cinema to listen and watch that film for a couple of hours and just step out of reality is what it used to be and is supposed to be. But now everything has, like everything else, has just degraded down into silly politics. And then just when you think that maybe Doctor Who has a chance of survival, the showrunner starts doing exactly the same thing. It's a very sad time to be in.
Well, it's like they act like they're fighting against the fascists, but you've just labelled an entire group of people because of something that one person said.
Exactly.
It's like, what are you behaving like?
Oh well, that's not. I mean, the last video I did with the tweet where that guy was literally listing all the people who can't watch, who are not welcoming the fandom,
yeah.
and you're like, that's exactly what you're being. You're being literally all of those things, but you don't see that. And like, as I said, who died and made these people God? Genuinely, who said that you could gatekeep like this to something that you clearly know nothing about? It can make my blood boil. As I said to you before, the last few videos I've done, multiple takes because it literally has made my blood boil.
I mean, what I would say to that person is the fandom would be a better place if you got lost. But at the end of the day, it's not my right to tell you that.
Exactly. And I mean, it's like when I did my video about what Russell said, and people were saying, oh, you shouldn't be attacking his free speech. And I'm not attacking his ability to say what he wants to say, but I will attack him not thinking about the impact of what he's saying to what he's about to do. And that's the difference altogether. It's just, I just don't understand. Sadly, I think RTD subscribes to the moronic Chris Chibnall mantra of Doctor Who should reflect the world that we live in. Yeah, yeah, no, it fudging shouldn't. Absolutely right. That's the problem. I mean, it's which one was they talking about? I can't what film series it was doing. They're talking about doing another series, and it goes with a modern take. And as soon as you hear those words,
Yeah,
with a modern take, you know it's going to be crap.
yeah.
Why can't you just do a show? Why can't you just do something that entertains people? And yes, okay, everybody's entitled to their opinions, everybody's entitled to their politics, but try and keep it quiet and just produce the show. I
Well,
just don't know.
it's funny. It's like they haven't been paying attention to the ratings of Doctor Who, clearly. But
No,
Russell says he wants to aim it at 6-year-olds because he wants them to pass it on to their kids and all that. So you want to indoctrinate 6-year-olds. But I've got a news
oh,
flash for you, Russell. Children have stopped watching
yep,
because children aren't idiots. They know the
nope,
difference between good and bad television. The only people you've still got watching are diehards and cringe-worthy teenagers who are into this stuff.
yeah, because it somehow appeals to them. You're right because what was the last one? 2.2 million on the night.
Yeah.
That says a
Lower
lot,
than
really.
Battlefield Part 1. So we've
It,
officially done it. We've broken the record.
exactly, exactly, and yet that doesn't count.
Oh no, but
Um,
Gobby, TV habits, they've changed, so much.
well, I mean, I did see somebody. Is it William who tweeted that
Okay.
Obi-Wan got a lower watch than Doctor Who, so therefore how is Doctor Who a failure and that is a success.
Because all these shows are failures.
Exactly, but the other thing, of course, is Disney Plus is a subscription service. Doctor Who isn't.
You can watch, yeah, it's like everyone in the UK should be able to watch it at the click of a button,
Exactly.
but
So
they're
there's
choosing not to.
exactly, and that's the mentality. It's like you can't compare a streaming show locked behind a paywall to something that is well, it's not. We know it's not free because we pay for it, but it's free to access for everyone. You can't compare those two things. But that's the mentality they get in that it's all about numbers until the numbers prove that they're wrong, and then it's not all about the numbers. Sometimes oh, it's so hard. It really is. Got loads of comments coming up though. This is the comment section has been really really good. Thank you for all of you who've joined. I list you all by name, but if I scroll back, my mic will probably turn off, and God knows what else will happen. RTD is
So,
basically saying their minds are easy to manipulate. That's the 6-year-olds. Well, we know this from the education services at the moment, though. My 6-year-old has been taught all about male and female parts at the age of 6. And I did question why she needed to know these things, but apparently she does. So I don't get it. Matthew Barrett correcting a low. Oops. So many comments. General TV audience and fans of the show really don't give a stuff about the message. This is true. We don't. We don't. I mean, the thing is, like, I don't know whether it's with you saying, you're all right, Jack. Your mic's gone. Oh, Jack's.
sorry, I just had to plug my charger in.
Oh, that's okay, mate. No, as I was saying, it was Nerdaholics where they said that TV audiences, fans of the show, really don't give a stuff about the message. But they had the opportunity for the last 5 years with Jodie to shove the message, and that with the viewing figures alone proves quite easily that shoving the message down people's throats doesn't work, no matter how they try and twist it. I just
And I hope they realise they're depriving people who really need a show like Doctor Who. People like
yeah,
myself who, haven't had it easy over the past. Well, none of us have, you
no,
know. And sometimes we need a show like Doctor Who to remind us it's worth keeping on going.
yeah,
And with
exactly.
them filling it full of crap, dare I say it, you've really ruined it for some people to the point where they don't have that thing that helps them anymore. And dare I say it, you may have even cost some people you know.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
But
It's
they don't care because they just see, you know, I suppose they see us like cattle in a way.
yeah, but they clearly are not interested in what we want. It's, I mean, the last few years has been a struggle for literally, well, not literally everybody. The rich seem to have been okay getting through it, but we all need something. And it's like when Jodie was first announced as the doctor, and people were going on about that. Now, when I was a kid and I saw the doctor, I was a skinny little geek, and it showed to me that I didn't need to be the big hard man. That brains could get me out of trouble, and the doctor was a role model to show that that you don't have to be this big mindless thug to succeed and to beat people, because you can use your brains. And then they took that away, and allegedly, so women or girls could have the same opinion and that view, but that didn't work because everybody turned off. I just, if RTT continues with nonsense, cause serious mental health problems, do we get to call him a murderer and a liar? Well, yes, that's what bit of the speech that comes back to bite people, doesn't it? And that's the thing. Again, when he said these things, those words will be thrown back at him. There will be a time when those words will be thrown back at him, and then will be called everything under the sun for doing so, which just shows you the ridiculous hypocrisy of the modern world that we live in. Sadly, it's just, I don't know. What can we do? What can we do? I know everybody's looking forward to the 60th special, which has completely destroyed anyone giving a monkeys about that centenary special thing that they're supposed to be doing. I mean, is anyone really interested in that happening, or are we all just going to tune in for the last 10 minutes to watch her disappear? It's just,
Probably
I don't
me,
know.
yeah.
It's well, everybody's focusing on the 60th now, even though Russell said that he didn't really want to. He didn't want to steal her thunder, but then probably promptly did by doing everything that she's done. It's just, he's done. It's just, I don't know. I don't know whether I'm really looking forward to any of it anymore. And
No.
that is a worrying thing to have on your mind. I mean, when Shooty was announced, I was all excited. Well, the video I did, I was really excited that the possibility was there. And slowly but steadily, little by little, it's been worn away to the stage where now, do I really want to? Am I?
I have to make a confession here.
Go on then.
And I'm ashamed of myself for this, to be honest, but I think like I say, it's just because I've become so used to the kind of fandom menace side of things.
Yeah,
I've become so used to it that when I first saw, I was really hoping it would be Russell Tovey
yeah,
or someone along his lines. But when I saw it was Shooty, the first thought that came into my head was diversity hire. I'm done.
yeah.
That's the
And a lot
first
of,
thought. Now,
yeah,
your video really hit me hard, where you said, like if you dislike him solely for the skin color, and I was like, he's right, and I was
yeah,
really ashamed. And Lee calmed me down. He talked me down, and then I realized, yeah, we haven't seen anything. I saw his first interview where he was really humble. He was like,
exactly.
I hope I fit into the role. I hope I do it justice. I'm like, wow, okay, I'm on board.
Yep,
And then I saw the other two interviews.
exactly. Where the mask slipped.
The mask slipped, and as soon as I heard that word, marginalized people, that was it.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
done immediately. I was just like, are you serious? And it
Yeah,
makes I know this is bad, but it stereotypes not just you, Shooty, but it makes all look like, oh, it's a person of color, so everything has to be about race.
exactly.
When the
Exactly.
majority of fans of color, who I have a friend who is my mate, I won't name him, but my mate, and he is currently marathoning Classic Who at the moment. So clearly he doesn't mind it being a white man for 50 so odd years.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
You know,
I am just, I really gotta be like, I want to be excited, but I can't be. And I think a lot of people who are just like, it's just a show. Like, I get it, but it was something that I gave so much of my life to. You know,
Exactly.
I designed a Doctor Who game every playtime at high school. I stayed indoors because I didn't fit in, you see. If I went on the school field, I'd probably get beaten up.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I stayed in and I drew probably a forest's worth of pictures, you know, just designs for levels and all that. And I really wanted to hopefully one day take it to, you know, show it off. And
Exactly.
then the Chris Chibnall era happened, and it just, I suppose it kind of just made me realize the mortality of everything.
Mm.
But truly,
Abs-
nothing lasts forever. And I wasn't a big fan of the show under Moffat. I had to tolerate him for 8 years.
yeah.
I really wasn't. The Anniversary was a letdown. Matt Smith's era was a letdown. Capaldi's era was a letdown. And I was like, "Yeah, he's gone, he's gone." And I was so optimistic. I remember Jodie's first episode. I was just like, "Oh, all these people are just whinging and moaning. It's going to be great."
Yeah.
Episode by the Ghost Monument, I was like, "Oh my god, everything they said was right."
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
everything. It's horrible that it's like when, as I say, when I first, saw it was all announced, I thought, well, we've got a chance. Here we go. There is a possibility that things could be getting better. And it was less than 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah,
10 minutes,
before they killed it.
and you're like, oh no, really? What? And then I thought, well, it can't be like. And then it's just it goes on and on and on, and you just like, and then it's not nice to want to have to. I mean, when I sat down and did the video where I said that it's all gone wrong, and it's like it to me it's personally quite painful to sit down and say that something I was so excited about has now just completely deflated me, and to sit and say this isn't going to be good, and I'm really worried about this, and in some respects get quite a bit of flack for it because obviously I wasn't on board with Russell T Davies and Shooty, and you shouldn't be mentioning these things. But the thing is, it's a worry, and it's not got. I mean, if that had been that one speech had been it, and we'd moved on,
Yeah.
and it never happened again, okay, you could put it down to, oh well, he's chatting to his mate.
I
It
did
just
like
slipped out.
I did like his response to Sylvester's,
Yeah,
video.
exactly.
He came across very nice, and I'm sure he's a nice bloke. But
Yep.
I've done my research and I've watched interviews he's done for sex education, and it's the same shit. He's
Yeah.
spewing the same shit, and it's just like, this is who this guy is. He's made it such a big part of him. Like, this is who he is,
Yeah. It's just.
and I just can't. And I'm getting to the point. I don't want to view the world like that. I don't want to think, oh, person of color's taken the role, so it's just going to be all about race.
Yeah.
But they're the ones who have made this.
Exactly. That's the issue. The issue is they're the ones who've made it feel like that. Whether they do it consciously or subconsciously, they make it the issue. I've said it on many other shows and that where it's like for Miss Marvel, the new one, when they had to say she's the first Muslim superhero. Why did you need to? But why did you need to say that? There was no need to say that because by saying that, that's what you've made it about.
It's so ironic, isn't it? She's a
Yeah,
superhero that's insulting to their religion.
exactly. Because they don't think
So you probably should have kept that little fact out.
exactly. They just don't. There's others, It's like it was like for instance, Star Trek Discovery, which is an awful show, but it was like the first black lead character in Star Trek, and you're like, but
No.
what about Cap? Well, what about Cisco? First woman. What about Janeway? And it's like, but why are you making it that it's the first? And you're like, you're making it the issue, and it doesn't need to be.
Oh. Do
It
you
really
honestly
doesn't.
think? Do you honestly, not you, Gobby, but do you honestly think that I said I don't like Mickey because he's black? Do you honestly think a child said that?
No, no, no,
No.
no. Exactly. They. It's
It's a straw man.
Exactly.
They're imagining this. It's not real. You know,
Exactly.
this whole white male gaze. There are black actors in the Hartnell era.
But again, it's like to go on to that. Just sort of thing. It's like we were watching. Me and the wife were watching 70s music videos, and she sat there and she goes, "The way they go on nowadays, it's like there's never been black
One
performers
of my
before."
favourite songs, "What Is Love," is
Exactly.
sung by a black man.
You know, I mean, yeah, Willie's right here. The first interracial kiss was on Star Trek, and it was that bad that it got banned in the UK for years and years and years. It's just like they make out that what they're doing now is so groundbreaking. It's never been done before, and then they can't understand when people like me and others go, "Well, actually, no, it was done back in the '60s.
But
It's
you
been
would
done
think that Russell knew better because he had diversity in his first era.
exactly," but they seem to ignore that. There's been diversity all the way through everything. It's just that now it becomes this figurehead
But
that
here's where
needs to
I
be said.
stand on it. So the Doctor's been a straight white male character. Is
Yeah,
that if you? I'm going to use your argument, Gobby. If you
yeah,
hate the Doctor because of his skin and his sexuality, you are a racist and you are a sexist.
exactly.
And
Exactly.
people are like, no, no, you can't be racist, straight white man. No, that's not how it works.
That's not how it works. It's
If
not how it
you
works.
want more representation, it's a shame that you're talentless because you can't go and invent your own characters.
Exactly.
So instead, you have to steal pre-existing characters. Now, I want you to imagine a white kid who has a toy that's been handed down to him for generations of his family. Black kid shows up and says, "This is mine because of what your ancestors did to me."
Exactly.
I'm sorry, but that's that. How is this any different?
I just, I,
Except, here that, well, obviously it is a little different, but like that's what I'm saying. That it seems it's one way.
yeah,
And that's what I hate about it. And to be honest, if they came and made, Nick Fury from the Avengers,
yes,
if
yeah,
they made him white, I would probably say, no, no, you can't have it without Samuel Jackson
no,
because
exactly,
he is the
because
character. He's how I picture him.
exactly,
You
exactly.
can't have Rush Hour without Chris Tucker.
Nope.
You can't. So
Yeah,
it is a two-way thing. Like it's not. If you can't imagine if they made Sarah Jane a man, Christ Almighty, like everyone would be like, "What are you doing?"
exactly. You see, you're hitting the nail on the head, and that's the problem. That's the big problem is that it's not seen. It's not seen that way, and that's so wrong. It's so wrong, and yet we get attacked if we say something like that. I just,
I've been thinking, Alien the series is always known for predominantly having a female character. It
yeah,
would be nice to see a male give the go at being the main character, but of course that will never happen because it would go against the narrative. But it would take away from Ellen Ripley. No, it wouldn't.
no, of course it wouldn't.
It would
Of
just be
course it
nice
wouldn't.
to see what it would be like, but we can't have that.
No, I mean
So
it's
I
like
guess I should give up all my dreams of ever, be starring in my favorite franchise because I'll be lucky if they even let me near the gates.
yeah, it's just. I mean, it's like I don't know whether you noticed or have you seen that they're doing a new TV show for National Treasure, the one that the two films with Nicolas Cage in. They're doing a TV show, a series on that, and the lead character is a woman now, but she's also an illegal immigrant because that's important. And you're like, it's and the writer said it's very important that we make it female centric. Why?
Well, do you want to know
Why?
what annoys me is when a woman who's as thin as a twig can knock someone who's bigger than Arnold Schwarzenegger over with one kick. You
Yeah,
want to know
I
what
know.
made women characters so valuable? Is they were the ones that could shut down an entire thing just by talking words of truth. While the men
Exactly.
were slitting each other's throats and kicking and punching, along would come the woman and just be there. Like the men couldn't be without her. And I never
Exactly.
minded that. Except
Nope.
what it is nowadays is the women are almost looking down at the men and saying like, "Oh, look at those idiots," you know,
Exactly.
that's the
Exactly.
difference. You
It's
know,
it's yeah, I know, mate. It's like, oh, really? It's just I just don't understand why we have to get to the position that we're in, and why we have to why accuse everybody of being a sexist or a bigot or a racist or whatever, when they, by the way they market what they're doing, make it all about that. I just don't get the logic. I really don't get the logic, and it just destroys everything, and it makes you question. As soon as you see something, instead of just going, "Oh, I might give that a watch." As soon as you hear those words, you start to question, and then when you start to question, you start to dig, and then you find stuff that you didn't really want to find, and then before you know it, you've lost all interest.
yeah,
It's like the new Lord of the Rings thing that's coming out. Um, it's just like it's awful. And the first words are, well, you see, the women in it have all got agency, and it's all about women don't need the men and blah blah. And you're like, oh God, why?
just yeah. Well, if you've
You
ever
know,
seen that Bear Grylls thing where they put all women on an island, it didn't last very long, did it?
no, and that's not being sexist. That's actual
No,
fact.
it's just
It's just the way it is.
you know, it's like women are the givers of life. How more important do you want to be?
Well, yeah, exactly. You have one of the
Men
most
will
important.
die for you. Men will throw, like Christ. Look, I'm just going to admit it. I've never been good when it's come to women. They take one look at me and they go friend zone. He doesn't have the qualities of a real man. You know,
But what's a real man?
well, I don't bloody know anymore.
No. Well, the thing is, what is a woman? What is a man nowadays? It's just like, oh. But you're
I'm
right. You
just
see,
so fed up.
it's like you're right that men will work whatever it do and do whatever it takes just to provide for a woman. And I think men get a raw end of the stick. Don't get me wrong. Women do fantastic things, and as you said, if it wasn't for women, we wouldn't. Neither of us would be here right now doing this.
No,
But
but there's
I
more
just
than that. They just I've always found female counselors just much more approachable.
exactly because
Which I'm
that's what.
annoyed at myself actually, because I feel like I've been ruling a lot of guys out when actually there have been some brilliant guy counselors I've had.
Yeah,
But I've always found women more approachable to talk
yeah,
about sensitive topics,
exactly.
and I just don't think you can really do that anymore because they'll either see you as weak or they'll see it as you being toxic, you putting on a facade.
Yeah,
It's,
I know where you're coming from. I completely again, but again, isn't it sad that that you have to have those thoughts? That's what you start thinking of these
yeah.
things before you've even done anything. You're already thinking like this,
Well, that's
and
why I'm writing my own story, and I'm doing there's a children's book I'm hoping to make if, by the way, Gobby, and I've got
awesome,
a load of female characters in it.
brilliant.
So I'm writing them myself, and I'm making them how I want to, and
Yeah,
I'll probably get a lot of flack. I'll probably get a lot of people saying, "Oh, you've made these female characters like females."
well,
You
yeah,
know,
because they are, because they are. It's like
and
I just, I mean, as many people may know, I'm ex-forces. I've been all over the world, and I've seen, the amazing things that humans can do and the terrible things that humans can do, and I just don't understand why we have to hate each other so much. And
I did not know that, Gobby, but
yeah,
that's just incredible. And yet here
you
you
know,
are, like with all your toys and just being the geek and
yeah,
approachable and
I'm
everything.
always been the geek. I've always been the geek, and it's like I just this is where obviously this is where the swearing comes from, and that's where the all that sort of stuff. But the thing is I mean, I use the famous line, it's nothing but a fucking TV show, but because the level of arguments over insignificant things, when I've seen how terrible humans can be to each other, but how wonderful we can be as well, and I just don't understand why people have to be so nasty to each other. and especially over things like films and TV shows, and you know, it just it blows me away. It really does blow me away that people have to degenerate everything into such stupid base terms. It's just like, uh,
Sorry, mate. I didn't mean to make you.
no, 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 no. No, that's just me. As people who watch my videos are fully aware that I get like that. It's just, just make a TV show. Russell, just do yourself a favor. Don't say anything anymore. Just make a goddamn TV. Make the show as good as you can, and just make it entertaining. That's all we ask, and that's all we can ask.
Don't tell conservative fans who look up to you and want to have your autograph to get lost, because
Exactly.
that's discrimination.
Exactly. We want to be diverse, and we want to be inclusive, but only our diversity and our inclusion. You've got to learn. I just want to be entertained. It would be nice to be able to sit down one day in front of this mic and actually review a new thing that's really enjoyable, that I actually enjoyed. Admittedly, I quite like Star Trek: Strange New Worlds at the moment, although I'm miles behind on that. But it's a rarity to be able to say that, well, that was quite good, that was entertaining, and I just want that with Doctor Who again. Is that just too much to ask? It probably is, but I just want to see the Doctor being the Doctor again.
Yeah.
And just enjoy my show, and be able to come on here and say, that Doctor Who episode yesterday, God, it was all right, wasn't it? Just to be able to say that.
Isn't it ironic that when you do that kind of stuff, you find yourself talking with people you never thought you would, from all different backgrounds?
Exactly. As I said, the world, we don't need sides. I've seen what sides do to each other, and we don't need sides. Sides are silly things that we do when we're kids, on a playground. And we need to get back to accepting the fact that, the vast majority of people sit in the middle. They're not left wing. They're not right wing. They like a bit of this. They like a bit of that. They're not really fussed. They just want to get on with their lives, enjoy what they can, watch something, be entertained, and get through life without too much hassle. That's all people want. And it's those of us who sit in the middle that are ignored the most, and always tarred by just having the audacity to go, I agree with that, but I also don't agree with that. And then you're right wing, or you're left wing, or you're evil, a xenophobe, a racist, a sexist. The list of ists and isms goes on and on and on. And it's just pathetic. It really is just pathetic.
And it's like I said, Russell has every right to be upset, because that guy has posted some things that would make me upset.
Exactly.
But the difference between him and me is I know this might sound harsh, but I'm a nobody. No one's gonna, take a thing. It's like, Russell, you're a well-respected and well-known, writer and producer, and you're about to be given the hands of what used to be the most beloved show ever that's really broken at the moment. You shouldn't be parading yourself about like that. Look, say what you will about Chibnall, at least he shut his mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Barely said anything, in fact.
Well, yeah. In fact, he was the complete opposite. He was very quiet, and you never got anything. I've been going back in time watching Airwolf and Knight Rider. There you go. That's when TV was good. That's when TV was just fun and entertaining, and you used to look forward to the next one instead of sitting here thinking, "Oh Christ, not again." It's just, I don't know, mate. I really don't. It's I just want things to be good again, and they're just not going to be, are they? Oh God. But it's I don't know. It's what will happen. I mean, let's hope that come next year, we're all sitting there eating our words, and actually going, well, you know what, that was all right, that was. But I don't think we're gonna be, and that is a horrible, horrible thing to have floating around in your mind, that you're just not gonna get anything good anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just, oh, really? Oh, dear me.
And like I said,
Oh,
there's the occasional thing that's good that slips through, you
yeah,
know. But it's when you've loved something for so long, and
yeah,
you just know that it's not going to get any better.
yeah. I mean, for me, obviously, everybody knows. For me, my favourite is Star Trek and Star Wars, and then it's Doctor Who next. And I've sat through Star Wars and Star Trek being destroyed piecemeal. But Strange New Worlds came out, and that was like, oh, that was all right. That was quite interesting. Oh, yeah, got a question for you, Jack. Do you like any other sci-fi properties? Are you a fan of anything else sci-fi? A question.
That is a
Hmm.
very good question, and as someone who is supposed to be a sci-fi fan, the answer is not anymore.
Sad, really,
I
isn't it?
used to like Star Wars a lot, um, and I was a huge fan of the prequels. So yeah, go on, get it all off your chests.
No, I actually like. I'm going to agree with you. I thought the prequels were all right. To be fair, mate, I'm not going to disagree with
Attack
you
of the
there.
Clones was a bit shit, but
No, 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 well,
Revenge
well,
of the Sith
Revenge of the
was
Sith was an absolutely brilliant film.
yeah,
I'm not gonna disagree with that at all. I
and it was because of the prequels that I went back to watch the originals,
Well, there you go. You see,
and it was
I mean,
because of Russell's era that I went back to watch the classic series.
there you go. You see, that's the thing that people forget, that it can be a doorway to let people get back to see other things and to experience the shows as they were. And if you taint that, then they're not going to be interested, and eventually it will kill the show. It really will kill the show.
Matthew Pounder, I just want to comment on that. Um, I know how you feel. There's a great film that me and Lee watched, Chicken Hare and the Hamster of Darkness, and you could see the agenda in there a little bit with a couple of scenes. But I don't want to think like this anymore, because this is
Yeah,
how a grown up thinks. A child just enjoys things. When you become so pushed into one way of thinking, you start to look at everything and go, oh, there's a bit of it in there, there's a bit of it in there.
yeah.
And I'm just so sick of it. I don't want to see it in everything, but it is in everything. So I'm just saying it's very sad when it becomes like that.
It is, and the thing is, you begin to look, and that's even worse. Is the fact that you'll actually sit there and
Yeah.
try and you're looking for it,
You
which
don't
then
realize you're
detracts.
doing it, but
No,
you are.
you don't, and that detracts from you. Well, what comes to the Asante story? Well, that isn't going to happen. It's just, but no, it is, because that ruins your ability to sit and watch a show, because, as you said, you're doing it subconsciously, and then when you do finally click onto something, that's it. Then that's that show
You
gone.
can't unsee it.
Exactly. Hey, Jack, have you had the opportunity to watch classic shows like Stingray and UFO?
No, I haven't. But
Oh, you should. Oh, you should. If
there's
you
a
want to
lot of
watch.
things I've got to watch.
Yeah, well, I've got a huge watch list, and people keep adding to it, which is not very nice of them, because I ain't got the time of day. But UFO especially, um, brilliant series, absolutely fantastic series. Back in the day, again, when everything was interesting.
I'd love to be on your channel.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Drop him a line, Wookie. I've been on a couple of Wookie streams. They're very enjoyable. We've had a good laugh, and he's a really good bloke, really decent bloke. And if you haven't seen it, he's got a channel. Pop on over to that one. As I said, Jack's channel. I've put a link in the description, Jack, so everybody can pop over and have a look at your wonderful channel when it comes to your toys and
Apologise for
that.
my terrible voice.
Oh no, you apologise for your terrible voice. You heard my Brummy accent.
Yeah, I love it. It's one
although,
of the
although,
enjoyments. I love it when Brummies get angry.
yeah, because but the thing is, I do upset some Americans because they don't realise, they think I should be talking. Yeah, I'm all right, kid. It's all wonderful, isn't it? Because apparently in Hollywood, that's how Birmingham people speak, which we don't. And to any American viewers, you want to know how a Brummie really speaks, watch Peaky Blinders, because
I'm
that's
trying to get
proper.
into that, actually. I've just started.
Well, Peaky Blinders, the show, it's set in, obviously, it's Bordesley Green and Smallheath, and I'm literally 5 minutes away from there, and the pub and that, and I know all the pubs that are in it as well, because they're all still there. So it's a bit of a thing for us Brummies, but that's the proper way to speak Brummie. We don't all speak like we come from the black country, which really confuses people. So, but no. Honestly, mate, your videos, I really enjoy them. I really do genuinely enjoy them. They're it's nice to see somebody. That's what I like about YouTube more than anything is to see people who are genuinely enthused about what they're doing, and it doesn't matter how you say it or what you think. It comes across that you really enjoy it, and that what makes me enjoy watching your videos, mate. So now we've had a bit of a loving. Oh, look, you can't even speak. Can't read the blooming Americans. Can't even type properly. Thank you, probably. Who the hell's probably? But no, Wookie's a good. He's a good lad. There's a couple of others on there. He's good. If you get on one of his streams, you'll really enjoy it. Usually because he's doing it early in the morning, and he lives in a very hot place, and he's got a terrible internet connection as well. If you have to watch the last stream, it kept cutting out. So we're now trying to set up a GoFundMe page so we can buy a decent internet provider, things like that. But it's good fun. But yeah, I hope you do get on his channel because he is good. He really is.
Well, like you say, toys are my passion. So unfortunately, my parents are really annoyed about that. But
no. As I said, we've had the discussion. They're not toys anymore. We've grown up. They're merchandise now. Oh no, they're all taking the piss out of me now. Probably equals problem being. Right. Okay, whatever. I didn't know that. He's just finished watching UFO. Yeah. What's this one? We should get Gobby, Clobby, and Probby on the stream. Well, that'll be fun. Oh dear me. Try listening to the black country accents, Jack. Yeah, the yam yams. Yeah, well, that's what they're known as. They're known as the yam yams because instead of saying you, they say yam. That's what they call yam yams. Yam all right, kid. Oh, yam, it's great, isn't it? Oh, you know. But yeah. So don't worry about your voice, mate. Honestly, it sounds fine to everybody else, and you know, people are subscribing to your channel and they're enjoying what you're doing. So why worry?
Thanks for all the people who've subbed because YouTube really don't like me at the moment. Every time I gain a sub, I seem to lose one.
Oh, that's YouTube. That's just the way it goes. Especially I find when you get to like either 200 and then the 300, it likes to keep knocking you back down because they don't really want you to get there. But that's just YouTube being YouTube. Oh, toys. They're not toys. They're collectibles. They're not toys. Well, actually, they are. And let's be honest, we do play with them.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
I really wish I could play with them more, but there's always adult stuff on my mind. So,
well, every now and again, mate, just lock yourself in your room and like I do in my shed sometimes and just have a bit of fun on your own and just tune out from the world. Well, my father-in-law is in Black Country. My wife interprets for me. They can get a bit confusing and the accent's amazing. His network DVD is just fabulous. Going there, right? There we go. Look at all this. They're toys, damn it. Gobby, they are not. They are not toys. They're not toys. They are collectibles. As I said to Jack earlier, just before we came on, it was. I was looking at a Dalek that's in B&M, which I'm thinking of purchasing, and she said, "You and your toys," and I explained quite strong, in my way, that they're not toys. They're merchandise and collectibles. So. Also, Gobby, I'm just a bloke in a shed surrounded by his toys. Yes, I know I am. Just a bloke surrounded in a shed surrounded by my toys. Not just a bloke, a fat bloke. Let's get it right. So, oh, dear me. Right then. So, I think we'll need to bring this one to a close because I've got 2 young children that I've got to go and feed before they come and eat some small dog. I hope, I'm actually surprised they haven't come and bothered me just yet because... I don't know what they're doing, which is also a bit of a worry. They've probably robbed something or burnt something down. I was being kind. Being kind. You don't need to be kind to me. No one needs to be kind to me. So, Jack, are you happy that we bring it to a close right now? Are we all done? Have you said what you needed to say, which I have to say was spot on and perfect, to be fair, mate? I really enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, I feel about 3 stone lighter, so I think that's
That's all right then.
But then I just hope I didn't go over the line at any point.
No, you didn't at all, mate. As I said, what you were saying was absolutely spot on. I mean, no one said it. Everybody's agreed with it in the chat as well. So, it's what you said was perfect, mate. Absolutely perfect. And as I said, we all have to, say how we feel, because we've had so many years of not being able to say what we feel, and we should never be frightened to say what we feel, because that's how they want us to be, silent and quiet and not say anything. So, but no, mate, it's been a pleasure to have you on. I've really enjoyed it. As I said, there's a link to Jack's channel in the description for the video, so pop on over to there. Oh yeah, what's this? I've been playing with Motor Origins. See how it is? Great. There you go. So there you go, Jack. Everybody enjoyed it. And look, you've got a new subscriber, mate.
Oh, thanks, Jason.
There you go. So it was well worth it. Oh, no. Ready. And you got another sub. There you go, mate. So there you go. So clearly you were saying something that people enjoyed because they popped on over and subbed to your channel, mate. And that's great. That is. Absolutely
Thanks,
fantastic.
everyone. I've got some new content coming soon. The Ironmonger set, which I showed you, Gobby, I'll be reviewing that.
Nice. That looked good, that did. Can't wait to see that one. Yeah, so, hold on. And another one, mate. There you go. There's another sub.
Oh, cheers, Wookie.
Everybody's joining now. There you go. But no, it's. I've enjoyed the chat, mate. We must do it again sometime. Hold on. And another one. There you go. So you'll be pushing 350 at this, right, mate?
Thanks so much, guys. And I just hope I can keep you all watching.
Well, as I said, mate, I find people enjoy what you do, mate, and that's all you need to, just get out and do what you're doing and enjoy yourself, just like I do. Because, I'm surprised when people subscribe to my channel and watch my videos. And there you go. You got another one now. And I think Sadako thinks he already is subbed, but he'll check it if he isn't. You'll have another one. There you go, mate. So
YouTube are going to be on my case in a minute. Like, what's going on here?
Well, you'll get all. Yeah, they'll be investigating what you've suddenly had a sudden surge.
They're not all bots. Leave them alone.
Yeah, they're all bots. They're not bots. They're all actual human beings. There you go. Yep. There you go. So there you go. Sorted. He's here. The sub drawer is going to sub, so you're sorted. Right then. So with that, I'm going to bring this one to a close. Thanks for everybody in the chat. Thank you again, once again, Jack, for popping in. No and I shall catch you in the next one. And don't disappear straight away, Jack. I'll have a quick chat to you before we disappear. Okay. So with that, everybody, thanks so much for watching. And I'll going to love you and leave you and catch you very, very soon. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.